Welcome to another episode of the Becky Choice podcast show. Today I have Kat here and I can't wait to have a conversation with her during our podcast time together. She's been amazing. She wowed me from day one, so I'm super excited to have her on here. We've been working together since April, so she has so much nugget to share. She has every time I talk to her, she always give me some light bulb moments, and she is very good at self-reflecting. So I really would love her to share her experience in my Tummy Warrior coaching program and what were some of the results that she got and how it has been impacting her since. So Kat, I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Becky. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Super excited. I've been looking forward for this episode because we've been trying to make sure that it fits into our schedule. So it's been a little bit delayed, but it all works out now. So tell our audience, who are you and what was it like before you start the Tummy Warrior coaching program?
So before I started the Tummy Warrior program, I am a married woman. I just had my first child in October of 2020. So it's just been my husband and I, we both work from home. So it's been a little difficult here and there to get out and do physical activity. But one of the things that actually came out of the pandemic is us walking. So during my pregnancy, I started walking a little bit more, over a mile at a time. But then after, you go postpartum and you're tired and you're a new mom and just getting into everything. So it was hard to even just be physically active around the house. So one of the things is, even if I don't go on a walk now, I've instilled this habit from the Tummy Warrior program to just be actively walking around the house. I have a stand-up desk for when I'm working as well. So it's really helped me to change my mindset that even just a little change, going for a walk once a week, or, standing up, getting a watch that tells you, hey, you've been inactive for an hour, really helps. So the Tummy Warrior program really helped me instill some really great habits, both physically and nutritionally.
Yeah, we'll keep those juices flowing in just a moment. We'll keep our audience thinking about it. Well, I wanted to know about who were you? Like, how did you feel before you started the program? What was your diastasis like? How did you find out you have diastasis at all? And yeah, like what were you thinking like before reaching out to me and have our conversations?
Yeah, I really started to enjoy walking during my pregnancy, and that was the first time I really started to enjoy physical activity. Before, it was just like, I'm tired. I really, I don't have the motivation. So then after pregnancy, I started following a lot of pages on Instagram, and I found your page, and it really like triggered this in my brain of like, do I have that? Do I have diastasis? And through your post and everything, it helped me check. And then I was like, oh wow, I do have this. And I was really tired prior to the program. I really wasn't motivated. It was just really difficult, and I was really eating anything and didn't realize too how much carbs that we consume. So that was one of the biggest things I realized prior to starting the program, is like, wow, like I ate so many carbs before, and just cutting that out of my diet really helped me get some of that weight off from the pregnancy. But yeah, I was tired. I got winded fairly easily, and I have asthma. So before, I would say I wasn't as happy, just holistically wasn't happy with, my body, where I was at, being able to just keep up with the baby and be there for my husband.
What was your diastasis measurement?
I believe it was 2 fingers. About 2.5 fingers, and a knuckle or so deep.
And was there any obstacle that sort of almost prevented you from joining the program? Like, did you have a good vibe having that conversation with me that day? It's so long, actually. It's hard to remember.
Say, definitely the main factor was financial, right? I realized, I'm like, okay, sitting down, talking with my husband about it really going over the pros and cons. Can we handle this financially? The overall impact of how it's going to affect me in the long term, how I'll be a better wife and a better mom. And then really going into, you know, obviously men have their own things that they look at and they're like, well, what about this program? Like, but honey, the main thing about this program is it's very customized, right? It's not a cookie cutter program. It's definitely not, one size fits all. She's going to customize it for me, my needs, where I'm at in my life, and my, physical appearance and everything at this time. So I would say that, and then overall, just being a little bit scared as well, like, starting this, making the financial commitment, trying to set realistic expectations and not put too much pressure on myself, and really focus on not appearance, but the healing really of like the diastasis, and then also just picking up good habits, right? It's not just about, what everybody else thinks. It's about what you feel about yourself, and just feeling healthy, not just looking healthy, but feeling healthy.
Yeah, I love that you talked about setting up that realistic expectation for you, because everybody's situations are different. Your lifestyles are different. Your families are very different. Maybe she has help, but you don't, or maybe you are going to school, which you were, and you're super busy. But tell us about how busy you are and brag about it. I mean, I really want you to.
Up until August of 2020, I was in school full time from 2014 on to August 2021. Now that I've just been, or August, 20, yeah, I think it's 2020 is when I finished my graduate program.
Just finished a few months ago. Yeah, your master's degree, right?
For 7 years, just being in school, and really, it's just been so challenging, especially with balancing being a wife and then having a child after that, right at the end of my master's program, and then deciding, okay, so I'm doing well mentally, and I'm okay, spiritually, and everything, but now my physical is where everything is lacking. Like I knew there was something missing, and realized, okay, so can I do this? Can I manage a master's program while being a wife and being a mom and working full time? And I was able to do that successfully. I was so excited to, I actually graduated in August of 2021 this year. So I got my degree. I'll actually be walking the stage on December 11th. So in a couple of weeks. One of the most challenging, like I think just as a woman, you continue to see yourself, go through and push through various challenges in your life. And yes, I've been through school, I've gotten married, I've done all these things, but like to be able to join this program and manage, full-time work, finishing a master's degree program, and just handling all my personal family things as well was amazing to know that I could get to that place, right? And I really, the program helped me, and the type of support that you provide, that coaching and accountability was a huge part of me being able to finish the program. Because sometimes you're like, I don't know if I can do this today, and I'm tired and I have all these things, but you really have to like change your mindset and think, okay, where can I fit this in? Does mornings work best? Do evenings work best? Can I sneak it in during lunch? So I really, just took it day by day and figured out, what's working best for me. And then the accountability between you and the assistant coach was really helpful for me.
Yeah, adding on to a bit more on the time management, if there were three things that helps you the most in terms of timing the workouts, timing the meal planning, what were the three things you think really helps you? Well, aside from me being there, but like for you, what did you do personally to help you to stick to the schedule? And also maybe like what happens when you were not feeling well, or like maybe your baby is not feeling well, you could take care of the baby. So what did you do during those times? But I guess I want you to start with the three things.
The three things, I think I really kind of just assessed my day and think like I have the flexibility of working from home, and really saying, okay, I'm going to structure out my day. I start at 9, I end at 6, and really kind of keeping that momentum going. Like if I couldn't work out in the morning, I'm like, okay, I have to do it right after I get off of work, because if not, I'm going to get comfortable. I'm going to want to just lay down with the family, watch TV. So really, saying, okay, when am I going to do this? And getting my husband on board with me, right? Saying, hey, can we do this together? Can we go walking together in the morning? So getting up early, right? A lot of us aren't early risers, but I actually started to feel good. I actually started to really look forward to the walk. So really structuring my day and kind of seeing, okay, I may not get up every morning, but can I do this at lunch? Can I do this in the evening? And then at times, things may slip through the cracks. I may not be feeling good. The baby may not be feeling good. It may just be a really rough day. So sometimes I would just double up. I would do 2 workouts in one day. Sometimes I wouldn't have workouts every single day. So I would just make up for those days where I would just be walking and say, hey, I'm going to do my workout today. So really pushing myself to get those done still. Like even the week after, like if I'm missing 2 workouts from the past week, I went ahead and said, okay, this week I'm going to do it on this day and this day. This may be my off day, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. I had an off day when I was not feeling well, or the baby was, having a rough day, and I'm just going to take that and put it on a different day. So that support from my husband was important too, I would say, is one of the second things. Yeah. And then I would say for the third, with like the nutrition specifically, my husband was supportive, and like he helped me meal plan. And even if we were to eat out, we would eat something that was a little bit healthier. Or the other side of that, right? Like we could technically eat whatever we want. I would just have smaller portions. And eventually it was so crazy that I didn't even want to eat as much as I used to. Like I just couldn't, I didn't have the capacity for it. So it was nice to see, like, oh my goodness, I didn't even have to really go on a diet per se. I just started cutting out my carbs a little bit, and just monitoring how many I was eating snacks. Planning out snacks throughout my day was another thing that helped me, because then I wasn't as hungry or overloading during dinner or lunch. Breakfast was super important. I'm not a breakfast person, but I was like, okay, at least a smoothie, right? Or some fruit, something really light. So overall, even now, my diet's changed where I don't even like a whole lot of like greasy food. So now I'm more like, I need something light, or I just need something homemade. So I've gotten in the habit of doing that too. And I think from the program, the portion control, like knowing I can just use regular measuring cups to just portion out my food. And I was even doing it for my husband, and it worked really well.
Oh, that's awesome. Was he trying to be on the portion control with you? Yeah. How long has it been?
It was good. Like he still eats more than I do, but I have even seen the change in his diet. So he's like, oh yeah, I didn't realize we were eating this much carbs before, or drinking a lot more water. He loves smoothies. And so that was one of the things that we did too, is like we went hand in hand. Okay, do you want to make breakfast today? Or do you want to plan lunch or dinner? So, really kind of trying to plan out half the battle is, okay, what am I going to make? What's the recipe? And then it's like, okay, then I'll just make it, right? And it's not as hard to think, okay, I have to make dinner. Make meals ahead of time if you can, and make sure it's something that you like. That was the other thing. I was making and eating things that I actually enjoyed. It wasn't something where it was tasteless, or I was eating like, a bird. Like, no, you made it very clear to us that with the portion control, we can eat whatever we want, just limit and have snacks. And here are some of the better options. So I think that's what kind of took the pressure off of that structuring the nutrition and just overall structure for the program too.
You said exactly everything I want. Like we didn't plan this. I didn't ask her to say this, okay, for the audience, but like she said exactly what I'm thinking. Like Like, it doesn't have to be tasteless. It doesn't have to be chicken breast every day. It doesn't have to be like that. You can still eat everything you want. I always say that to my clients, but make sure it is in that portion control. Make something that you like. And I still remember the very first day when I started my journey, when I was 35 pounds over, the very first day I was like, okay, I'm gonna have lobster meat with salad. It was so fancy, but I was like, you know what? This is my first day. I wanted to make sure that I am rewarding myself. I'm not depriving myself with food, and I love seafood. So I bought a lobster, made it a lobster meat, and I ate it with salad. It was so good. I was like, wow, I get to have lobster salad.
And you know what, too, I'm thinking about it, and I've even told my husband, it's like, even if I have to eat out, like, I like Olive Garden. Let's do a soup and salad from Olive Garden, right? So sometimes we buy fast food, and it's like, okay, guys, after we buy this fast food, like, look how much that costs. And then when we go and, buy something from the store or buy something a tad bit healthier from like a restaurant, sometimes you have to really assess, like, is this worth it, or can I get a healthier option? Even just switching from, okay, I'm not going to get a burger, I'll get like a chicken burger, and it's going to be grilled. Like, just little changes here and there, and realizing, like, okay, if I ate my carbs here, then I'll not eat here. As far as, like, I'll eat more veggies, or for breakfast, like, I don't need toast or whatever. I can make oatmeal, something healthier. Have more fiber in my diet too. That was another thing that I realized before starting the program, is I had, not, I wouldn't say bowel issues, but I wasn't in the right place nutritionally to where my system was functioning properly. So once I started eating more greens and things like that, just, I felt a lot better. I felt lighter. I was able to have a lot more energy as well. And so that was another great part of it too.
And I just wanted to recap about the time management that you talked about. I wanted to make sure that our audience able to hear it. The first thing you say, you took it day by day. You try to do your workout right after work, but you also wanted to do that in the morning. And as you go through, I guess, as later in the program, you realize you like to get up in the morning, and then you do them in the morning. You do the walks at least in the morning, and you get your husband to involve. That's the number 2 thing. You have your support network, your husband to do the walk with you, to have him to meal plan, and have him to involve in the cooking with you, and maybe do the workout with you too, right? So have him to be supportive of supporting you to do your workout, or crafting time for yourself that you are in this program, so you don't feel guilty about it. Sometimes we feel guilty for, like, feeling like we are taking the time away from the family, but it's not, because your husband will obviously want you to be healthy. And then the last thing you talked about is, when you had a rough day, you are just going to pull up, and you make it up, and then you continuously take it day by day. If you knew that you had a rest day already, and you were not feeling very well the other day, like, so you would plan it out, so then that, okay, you know what, I'm just going to do a bit more today, and then, because to make it up. So those are the 3 things. Am I right?
Yeah, especially with that last one, I think the reason why I pushed myself in that way to make up the workouts is, I feel like that's where it starts, right? If you miss one and you're like, oh, it's okay, I have a whole another week of workouts. But to push myself to say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and try to make this up and get this done, really keeps you accountable and keeps you really engaged in the program, right? Because it's just one thing. If you don't put that back on the shelf, like, it's just, things start to pile up. So it's like, no, be accountable to yourself. Say, hey, I missed it this day, but I'm going to go ahead and get it done on that day that I don't have any workouts to do.
Yeah. It's that discipline. It's that the mindset, being that you can do it, right? You have the choice, and you empower yourself that, you're not feeling too well, but I choose the hard. I choose to do it today. And once you get through it, you get stronger mentally, your inner strength that's got stronger. And, like, anything that's coming in your way, you're going to crush it, because you did it already, and you can do that and repeatedly.
Exactly. And I think one of the other things you mentioned too, for the coaching specifically, was, when you go to want to eat something, are you eating because you're hungry? Or are you eating because, it's attached to like stress or something emotional? And I started realizing at times I am a emotional eater at times. So that really helped me to say no. I'm like, you know what? I'm actually not hungry. So I'm not gonna eat right now. Like I'm wanting to, fix what I'm feeling right now with food. And instead, even if I did eat something and said, okay, I'm going to eat something healthier, like let me get like just a snack. I'm not going to just eat candy or chips or something that's just going to, make me feel good in the moment, but really long term, it's not going to help me at all.
What would you say, like, what about the program, the Tummy Warrior program, that surprised you the most, or like it's unexpected to you?
Ooh, that's a really good one. I think the overall, it's between the support and kind of just the ease overall of what we're tasked with. So the workouts themselves, progressively get a little bit more challenging, but they were really accessible, I would say, to any average person, whether you worked out before or not. I think they were definitely very accessible. And the support network between you, the assistant coach, and then our Facebook group, being able to submit videos there or pictures there. And overall, just even the nutrition, like it wasn't difficult. Like I didn't have to spend a ton of money like you would on certain programs. It definitely was customized. Like you made it easy for us to stay on track and to actually come into this program. And you being so open and vulnerable with your own story, that was one of the main things too that made me say, I think I do want to do this. Because even without meeting you, I felt like I could trust you because you were showing me this authentic life and process that you went through, and that this isn't just like, a money making thing that some people do. Like, no. And I even during the program, I saw some other programs, and I saw some negative comments that people didn't enjoy what they got from that program. They felt shamed, and you never made me feel like any type of shame through this program. I've always felt supported. I felt like any progress that I made was great and just acknowledged, right? You saw me and everything. It was just awesome.
Oh, thank you so much, Kat. Wow, that was, wow. Thank you. It made me speechless. And everybody has their own story, and just being able to say it from your own angle and from your point of view really shine the light for so many moms, because maybe they cannot relate to me, but they will relate to you in different. So thank you for sharing that so much. Now tell us about your results in terms of your diastasis and your weight. We didn't talk about your starting weight at the beginning of the podcast, but yeah, share with us how your diastasis is now and how much weight did you lose? What were your starting point?
Yeah, I think it was about 1.5 knuckles and then about 2 gap. And now I have no upper or lower gap anymore. That's completely closed. I would say I think it was about half a finger in the middle where my belly button was. And I think you said that. And my weight, oh my gosh, I was around 180 or so pounds. And now I got down to around 153. And I'm so excited to have lost all of that weight. And I'm basically at pre-baby weight. I was about 150, 151 before I got pregnant. So I'm like, wow, I'm at the point of where I was and even better. I feel like I've lost inches too. So I'm like, wow, how am I around the weight that I was before? But I feel like I'm lighter. I feel so much better than I was before too. So I'm excited to really take it to the next level. And I think that was a part of the program too, is like, we did this and now we're like really going to target, something specific, like working on your ab muscles, right? And when it's appropriate, when you're ready, not just like, okay, we're going to dive right in right after you've been signed off, you can work out now after pregnancy. Like you took us through a healthy journey to physically come to this place of losing 20 plus pounds, right? Of healing my diastasis. And it's just been amazing to just see the results. And my husband's like, wow, I showed him my, the first picture I took. And then now he's like, oh my gosh, now that you like actually show me the pictures, wow, he told me the entire time, but it was really just to have that moment to see the before and after. It's like, wow, you did some hard work, he was telling me. So,
Yeah,
and he said,
curious. Did your husband believe that you could do it from day one? Deep down?
I think he was kind of a little like, I don't know, because I'm very determined person, and I've been very consistent with school, but working out and physical activity, it's like for me, like I've never really had that happen until this program. So I think he felt like I could do it, but still had some doubt. But to see me get up every morning without him, right? I didn't even need him to get up with me and to work out with me for me to do it. He was very proud of me, and I was really happy to see that he saw this side of me, because I don't think he had ever seen that before.
So good, like after marrying so for how many years, and now you see a new side of your wife, right, in a different angle. Wow, that's awesome. I mean, I have this final question that I ask for, every moms who are on my podcast. Like, what would you say to the moms who are experiencing diastasis, who are not feeling, they are not very happy with the way they are? What would you say to them?
I would say first, do that self-reflection, making sure that any decision you make, you're making it for you, and you're making it for you to be a healthier you, not just for appearance, not for what everybody else thinks or this snapback culture, but for you to be a healthier person, to be a better mom, to be a better person for whoever the loved one you may have in your life, right? And then really, take that time to say, it's going to be challenging, right? This is going to be new. It might be a little scary, but in the end, I will come out a better person. And just looking at all of the moms that have gone through the program and seeing the results, seeing your results, Becky, like it just showed me like, wow, these are everyday people. These aren't models who, just took some before and after pictures, or they're like pictures that have been edited. No, these are real people. And I'm a real person, and I can do this just as much as they can, right? So, believe in yourself and know that, again, self-care isn't selfish. This is a part of your self-care and getting you to a happier, better place in your life.
Yeah, if she can do it, why can't I? It's like my motto.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kat. That was such an amazing episode. I'm so happy to have this chat with you. It's like deja vu going back to our journey together. It's like we were just talking about like been through spring, summer, now coming into winter. It's like been through so many seasons, and I see you grow. Now you're graduating already and you're walking on this in your convocation. It's unbelievable. Congratulations. All the very best. We will keep in touch, and I wanted to see you continuously striving and reaching whatever you set your mind to. I know that you can do it from now on.
Yes, thank you, Becky. And thank you to everyone who's on your team that helps you, because, I have some lifelong habits now, and I don't want to go back to being inactive and, just not, really doing the most with my life. I feel very good. And I thank you and all of your team for just all the help and what you've instilled in me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. And for those who are listening, if you're interested in connecting with me, you can go on my Instagram at BeckyChoi_. You will see all the contents about diastasis or postnatal recovery. And if you wanted to have a chat, just hop on to my DM. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.